Now, we're going to go down memory lane for a second or two here, and then come slap bang up to date. Ah, the joys of the old ringtones. If you were a fan of the original Nokia 3310 mobile phone, that... Do you remember when that's enough of that. When it just made phone calls, that's what it did. The 3310 made phone calls and sent text messages. It had a really good battery life, didn't it? And loads of people had the Nokia 3310. And of course, it got superseded by all the smartphones, the iPhones, the Samsungs of the world. And the Nokia kind of got left behind. But it's been rebooted and reborn, and it goes on sale in the UK from today. We're all familiar with the amount of things available on smartphones these days. This new Nokia is designed for nostalgia and just for very basic use. Matt Porter is from Matt Porter Web Design. He's our Mark Murphy at Breakfast resident technology expert. Good morning to you, Matt.
Good morning.
Those ringtones will take a few people back in time. You just still occasionally hear the odd one now and again when you're out and about. But these things were so popular when they first came out.
Yes, the original Nokia 3310 that was launched in 2000 and sold 126 million units in its lifetime. So, yeah, it was. I think what was popular about them as well was they were customisable. So you could unclip the cases and replace them with custom cases. You know, people had their favourite, bands and stuff like that on them. So, yeah, they were very, very popular and very durable as well. I mean, something that people will know from having smartphones today that, and I know, that you only have to drop them a very short amount of, not very far, and you would smash the screen on them, whereas these were really quite durable devices. You could drop them and they would just bounce and you could pick them up and carry on using them.
Yeah, so Leslie decided to try and bounce her phone last night, and she's heading off this morning to go and get a new screen for hers. So, yeah, they're not as robust these days as they once were. So why have they brought this phone back?
Well, Nokia itself has licensed, the company has licensed its brand to another company called HMD, and they are launching 4 mobile phones. 3 of them are Android phones or smartphones, which as most people would be familiar with. There are all kinds of different brands of phone. But one of the things that they've done is launch the Nokia, or relaunch, if you like, the Nokia 3310, but it is a completely new handset. Although it's quite restricted. It hasn't got 4G or 3G or anything like that for internet. It's very basic in that respect. It's got what's called 2.5G or 2.5G. I think if people see in weak signal areas on their phones, they might see a little E that comes up in the corner of their screen instead of 4G or whatever. Well, that's the speed that it will run at. It's got an FM radio on board and a headphone socket, so you can listen to your music. And I think it's also got a colour screen instead of the old black and white screen that was on the original device.
Who's it aimed at then, Matt? Who's going to buy this?
That's a good point, really. I think that there are people that really can't deal with smartphones. I think it's just too much to ask, if you want a phone that you can go out, let's say someone that's working outside a lot of the time that can't be continuously having to go and plug their phone into charge. So it's going to be something that would be useful for somebody that's out and about, that it's not a terribly expensive device. It's about £50. So therefore it's almost sort of replaceable. Whereas a smartphone can be like £700-800. So if you're going to, going camping or somewhere like that, then you could keep that in your back pocket. And if you lose it, it's not the end of the world. So it's what they call a feature phone. It has buttons on it, so it's easier to use, I would suggest, in bright sunlight.
OK, well, we'll see how it goes. It certainly is going back in time with a modern twist. Matt, thank you very much. Matt Porter, our technology correspondent on the show, with the new Nokia 3310 mobile phone available from today.